everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an original tag. I'm going to be doing the Mean Girls the Musical book tag. Now I created this tag because I absolutely love the soundtrack of the Mean Girls musical and I really am hoping to someday go see it on Broadway. Before we begin, just know that I'm also going to be using the terms villain and antagonist a little bit interchangeably. I know they are not, and if you plan to do this tag, feel free to use whichever word fits your book the best. I have 18 questions to go with 18 of the songs, so it's going to be a long one, so let's get into it.
This is a cautionary tale about cautionary tale. You get my integrity at the mall, it's not for sale. Nice. Thank you. This is a cautionary tale.
So question one is A Cautionary Tale. What book should have a caution sticker on it and what would it say? And I'm going to go with Bridge to Terabithia, and the warning on this book should say, can cause extreme happiness and cuteness, but also extreme sadness. If you've read Bridge to Terabithia, you know the twist that happens at the end and it just destroys you and you're like, what? Where did that come from? So it should definitely have a warning sign on it. Question 2 is It Roars. What book or series is roaring for your attention? And I have to say any of Leigh Bardugo's books, both the Shadow and Bone series and the Six of Crows duology. I haven't read any of them yet, but they are so beloved on BookTube that I'm really hoping to get to them soon, and they seriously are roaring for my attention.
Where do you belong? Where do you belong? Where do you belong? Where do you belong? You'll be judged on sight and made to look. So why not quit and stick with it? Say, where do you belong? Let's take a walk around the cafeteria, shall we? I'll show you the world as I see it.
So question 3 is Where do you belong? Take your current read and put 3 of the characters into the different cliques named in the song. So I'm currently rereading Nixia by Scott Rankin, and so I'm going to put the character of Emmett into the kind of not joiners or loners with both Janice and Damien. I'm going to put the character of Kaya on the debate team because she loves to compete, although she's very nice about it too, but she does enjoy competition, and she's very smart about it too. And I'm going to put the character of Longway in the varsity jocks, who will throw you in a locker if you say hello, because he's kind of mean and nasty during the competition.
My name is Regina George, and I am a massive deal. Fear me, love me, stand and stare at me. And these are real. I've got money and looks. I am like drunk with power. This whole school humps my leg like a chihuahua. I'm the prettiest boys you've ever seen. I never weigh more than 115. My name is Regina George, and I am a massive deal. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you feel.
Number 4 is Meet the Plastics. What book has a good villain introduction? And for that, I'm actually going to go with Percy Jackson in The Lightning Thief. That is because if you know, I mean, it's kind of spoilers to say who the person is, but you're introduced to a certain character as a friend who is trying to help them, but actually turns out to be one of the main antagonists of the entire series. And I really like how you have that betrayal. I mean, it hurts personally to have that betrayal, but it also is a really good introduction because you don't really see it coming.
Stupid with love, but now I get it. Look and finally found a way. Acting dumb times X equals love.
Hey, what's the date?
October 3rd, my new day every day.
So number 5 is Stupid with Love, which I kind of used the reprise for. But what character concocted a plan to get smart with love? And so for this, I have to go with Laura Jean from To All the Boys I've Loved Before, because even if she didn't mean to send out the letters, the whole writing letters thing just kind of makes it seem like she definitely meant to send them out at some point. And then also the whole fake dating, she used her ability to think to eventually fall in love.
At the watering hole, see the girls who are nice have to scatter like mice from a jungle cat. And though Janice is great, she does not have the power. People literally cower. Janice can't do that. See us mark our territory as I follow in her train. I was victim, I was quarry. Now I say my name. She's the queen of peace, and I'm in her pride. I have fixed up
Apex Predator. What character did you dislike but the main character decided to align with anyways, despite your dislike of them? And for that, I'm going to go with one that's kind of surprising, but I'm going to go with Priyanka from The Darkest Legacy by Alexandra Bracken. I kind of thought Roman was okay, but I didn't really like Priyanka for some reason. I don't really know why, but I just didn't enjoy her character. I kind of got to tolerate her by the end of the book, but I just wasn't ever super on board with her character in the first place. But, you know, Zeus still just kind of decided to align with them. She kind of didn't have any choice, but also she eventually became friends with them and stuff. So that is my answer for this one. Also, Apex Predator was like the hardest one to come up with.
What's wrong with me? How I speak, how I dress, what's wrong with me? You keep me guessing. Mama called me beautiful, don't believe her anymore. Now I'm listening to you. What do I do that for? Please don't ignore me.
Number 7 is What's Wrong With Me, a book or series that you really wanted to get into but just couldn't. And for that, I have to go with A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. I read this quite a long time ago, honestly, but I remember not enjoying it whatsoever when I read it. It was just so random and weird and didn't ever like connect really. And I did want to reread it to go see the movie that came out kind of recently, but I just don't really want to. I haven't seen the movie yet, so maybe the movie is kind of better in that respect, but I just could never really get into it. And there's a whole series to go along with it. And I remember I tried reading like the second book, and again, I just could not get into it. Number 8 is Sexy. What cover on your shelves would make a good Halloween costume, or like what is the best looking cover on your shelf? And for that, it's kind of a well-known answer. It's been used a lot of times to describe how well looking it is, but I just have to do it again. And that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. The UK edition is just gorgeous. I absolutely love this cover, and I mean, it could make a really interesting costume. I don't think a lot of people would get it, but it would make a really interesting one. And it's just so pretty, and I love it.
It's fine for you, it's fine to flirt, it's fine till someone gets hurt. Till someone gets hurt. Feel my heart beating, I'm just a girl, aren't you? People forget I'm human too. Yes, we do that.
So number 9 is Someone Gets Hurt. What book hurt you? And this is also a very like well-known answer because a lot of people were hurt by this book, but that is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, because I am a mess of emotions when I think about this book, because it just hurts a lot. In a very good way, yes, but like still it hurts.
Imagine a party with dresses and cake, and singing and dancing and cake, and there's a magic axe that saws Regina in half, and this time it will take.
Now that's a party.
Number 10 is Revenge Party. What book would you like to throw a revenge party for? Or like, what book do you hate? And for that, I have to go with The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, because I read this in senior year and I hated it. I just could not get, like, I didn't connect to a character. There was a really disgusting scene that apparently I didn't have to read, but I was reading ahead, and so I read it anyways. And then that day the teacher was like, oh yeah, you don't have to read these pages if you don't want to. And I was like, thanks for that. It was just really disgusting. I hated the whole concept. I didn't like any of it, and I would definitely throw a revenge party for that book. Number 11 is Fearless. What character inspires you to be fearless? And my answer for this is Laia from An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. She is just so amazing. She starts off as this character who's very timid, who runs away, who is really scared. But her love for her family is so strong that she goes through so much to bring her brother back. And she eventually grows into this really strong woman. And she learns a lot about herself through that journey as well. And she just is super inspiring to me.
Stop. When you send by text and you get none back, so you want to send a 6-1. Stop. You gotta stop. Stop. When you're feeling mad because you think it's more attractive to guys and you're stupid. Stop. Do better and stop. I know it's hard to try. Don't instantly gratify. My God, bro, he's just a guy. You really need to stop. Stop. You're gonna make a mess and then who's gonna get them up? When you talk and you talk till you can't get calm. It keeps coming out like word vomit. Stop. Eat a cracker and stop.
Number 12, stop. What book or series just needed to stop? And this one just needed to stop. Maximum Ride could have been 3 books easily. If you've read the series, you know. First 3 books are like pretty decent. After that, just goes way downhill. It just needed to stop coming out like word vomit, as Damien says. Just stop.
Seriously, whose house is this?
13. Whose house is this? What fictional world would you want to live in / take over their house? And my answer, of course, is The Chronicles of Narnia. I would love to live in Narnia. It's been one of my favorite fantasy worlds, like, since I was little, and it just still is so magical and would just be so amazing to live in.
More is always better. More people know my name. I have more shoes. More is always better. 'Cause when you have less, you have more to lose. Wait, that's confusing.
14. More is better. What book or series would you want more of? And for this, I'm going with The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This is my latest obsession. I am in love with this series. I'm so excited that we did get some more in The Darkest Legacy. And I mean, there's so much that you can do in this world that I would love to see more books. I mean, I would love to see even a sequel to The Darkest Legacy would be cool. Just anything to do with The Darkest Minds world and books would just be amazing. So more of this would be better.
I wanna watch the world burn. I get the kiss queen. I wanna watch the world burn and everyone get it. I wanna watch the world burn. I get the kiss queen. I wanna watch the world burn and everyone get me.
15. World Burn. Who is the scariest villain and why? And I absolutely have to go with Umbridge from Harry Potter and the Order, I almost forgot what it was. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Because Umbridge is very scary because she is not afraid to harm her students and definitely elevates those who she thinks are worthy or whatever. But also the fact that the rest of the adults think she's okay. Like, the Ministry appointed her. So, and I mean, we know Fudge was kind of like not okay in this book, honestly. But like, the fact that the Ministry appointed her, the adults were okay with her, and it had to be the kids who were stepping up to take her down. That is one of the scariest things for me about her, is that like she gets a lot of power put onto her by adults who are supposed to know better, and these poor these poor students are getting treated so horribly. So she's definitely a very scary villain because of that.
Sometimes what's meant to break you makes you brave. So I will not act all innocent. I won't fake apologize. Let's just fight and then make up not tell these lies. Let's call our image and clean the slate till it's like you. It's a new life for me. I'd rather be me. I'd rather be me than be with you.
Number 16 is I'd Rather Be Me. Who is your favorite badass female character? And my answer for this is Ruby from The Darkest Minds. Now, she doesn't necessarily start off as badass because she's like very scared and like has lived her life in a camp. But as she grows throughout the book, she definitely gets super powerful, super brave. And she also learns how to use her power and understand it better. And it's just so cool to watch her grow into this amazing badass female character.
And let's do this thing. Do this thing. Do this thing.
I'm a plastic. I'm a bitch. You're leaving at the sheet. I'm a bitch and I lost what I lost. But start brand new. The hands on the way with a chill to the crew. Gotta kick off the dust. I got squirrels to press. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing.
17 is Do This Thing. What book makes you want to do your thing? And for that, I'm going with Geekerella by Ashley Poston because it's just a book about wonderful fandomness, and it just encourages me to get more involved in fandom related things, maybe do cosplay in the future, I don't know, but like it just really uplifts being in a fandom and all the important things that come from being part of a fandom, and it just also just made me really happy.
I see stars, so many stars tonight. You could make diamonds glow. You are so beautiful. I see stars, you shine as bright as day. I will look out for you. We're like each other's way. You're all stars.
Number 18 is Stars. Who is one of your favorite fictional couples, and who would sing this sappy song to the other one? And my answer for this is The Hunger Games. Definitely Katniss and Peeta, and Peeta would 100% be the one to sing this to Katniss, because Katniss does not do sappy things, like, at all. But I really love their relationship, and I love that Peeta is willing to do some of the more sappy things for the couple, because he knows that Katniss appreciates them even if she doesn't necessarily do them back. And I love them. They're one of my original favorite ships that I had in my fandomness, in my like reading career. They were one of the first people that I like shipped together actually, and they just make me so happy. And as a quick bonus question, what is your favorite Mean Girls quote? Mine is definitely "the limit does not exist," because it can be used for so many things and it's just so awesome. And it's in the musical, which is pretty cool. Not all of the iconic quotes from the movie made it into the musical, but that one did, which is just awesome. So that is it for this tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. I tag anybody who has seen the musical or loves Mean Girls, the movie, and is just interested in lip syncing to some stuff. I encourage you guys to go check out the musical. It's playing at the August Wilson Theater on Broadway if you can. If not, at least listen to the soundtrack because it is phenomenal. World Burn is one of my favorite songs, just even though it's super hard to sing. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!